Hi guys, it's Nancy. I finally finished this journal. So it is, should measure this. It's about, 8 1/4 by 6 1/4. It has a 2-inch spine. It's covered in fabric, so it has this wool plaid and this, it's not actual suede, but it's a synthetic suede. We have a hollow back spine, a curved spine, and I have used some vintage seam binding as a closure. So let's get it open so I can show you a little bit more. So in the spine, there's some lace, some tatted lace, and some cheesecloth, top and bottom. And on the inside, I have finished the front and the back with scrapbook paper that's got stitching on it, and I have stitched a book plate and an envelope here. Inside the envelope there's a tag and another tag. If I take this paper clip off here, this envelope opens and there is a little piece of writing paper that you can add some notes there. I'm not going to fuss with that. I'll go back and clip it later. So this is a tuck spot. It's a shame I don't have a piece of paper handy. I do. So this is a tuck spot. I'm going to see if I can zoom in just a smidgy. Here is another tuck spot. So maybe you're seeing that there's a theme here. It's writing. So we've got calligraphy paper here, lots of envelopes. So it's writing, it's reading. So books, stamps, letters. Here's a little pocket, and inside is a matchbook notebook. This is from a vintage stamp album, and here I've got a little stamp that I've run some string through, little key, writing paper. This is just a little collage with a stamp. This is again another little collage. This flips out. That is funny. I've put holes through these papers. Here's a little collage here. Writing paper, stamp album. This is some canceled stamps. I believe that's Sweden, and inside is a little file folder made out of index cards. I've added some. I mean, these are real stamps and real from vintage letters. I got this idea from Wendy Sterling Adventures, but I used tea-dye paper, line paper, and this is a page from a vintage stamp album. So that just goes in there. This is a little stamp that I've sewn onto some linen. Here's a little collage that I made. This is just a Tim Holtz journaling card that I've tucked in there. I thought that was a good match. And here's an airmail envelope, and I've made this little journaling card. The sticker on the side is actually vintage Denison mailing stickers. And there's the other side of it. I'll have to count and see how many pages there are in here. Mainly I was thinking this would be for writing, for maybe making lists of books that you're reading, maybe keeping addresses of pen pals. Here's another little postcard. Here I've put a little ticket as a tab. This is fabric and buttons on the side, just a little ruffle. Here's a little collage I made. Again, postcard. I meant to stick some tags in here. Let's do that right now. So I have many of these tags. They date from the 1910s up to the 1970s, and I will be listing these on my Etsy, so we'll use that one and that one. And this is just a little piece of paper. This is actually using the negative from the sticker space on the Denison, and I just put paper inside. Here's a little slot to tuck in something. And this is also a little space where you can tuck in something, and it has an altered paper clip. This is just a little piece of paper you can write on. Another tuck spot. This is a little, I'm not going to put anything in it, but it's a little pocket. Or maybe I will leave that in there. So this one's from 1931. But the reds are cute together. I made this little fabric and paper flower using my die cutter. This is another file folder. This one I've got the word quill masked out there, and I added a feather. And I've just tucked it into this little collage. This is a book of stamps. So I open it up and there's a little notepad in there. And you just close it back up. This is, oops, missed a page. Yeah, missed a page. Another little collage tuck spot with a couple of tags. I made these tags using Vintage Book Page and decorated them with coffee dyed security envelopes, and then collaged on some stamps and stickers and those sorts of things. This is a little flip out. And this has an index card, you know, and I put a collage on top of that. Right here is some airmail envelopes, and I've made a little booklet out of them, and in each envelope is a piece of card that you can journal on or attach pictures. And it's got some stamps on. These are all from Liberia, all of these stamps. I'll retie that and stick it in there. This is 2 stamps. They were the same stamp, so I just put a little piece of card in between to make that thick, and made a little tab. Here is another collage edge page tuck spot. This is a Tim Holtz journaling card. And on this journal, there's a little sticker from a bookstore that came out of a vintage book. There's some old stamps. This is a little envelope. And this is a Denison sticker. And it opens up, and there's a little piece of paper you can write a secret message in. And this is a vintage paperclip. And here we have a little pocket. It's got a mailman highlighted on there. I've collaged it on a mail-in coupon or something in there, then I cut out a little picture of a mailman. And these are a couple more of those postmarks. Here is an envelope that's sewn into the signature. I've just added this little ruffle, little charm, and some antique lace. And inside is a tag that I made, and it's got a little girl mailing a letter. I'll put her back in later. Another little tuck spot with some vintage lace and fabric, and this is a Tim Holtz journaling card. And I showed a video of how I did this using a stencil, an old-timey stencil, and ink. So all of the lined paper has been coffee dyed and inked with stencil. Here is another tuck spot, and this is a postcard. It's a Renoir painting of 2 little girls reading. And this is some coffee dyed curtain. Here's another postcard. This is the Railway Post Office on the Grand Trunk Pacific Railway, 1909. This has got some fabric and netting and papers all layered up. This is a little typewriter that I die cut. And here's a little guest check. I liked the blue and the red because that seems to go with a lot of the postal themes. And inside here, somebody's knocking on my window. Inside here is a little tea card and a little tag. So that is the end of this flip through. If you are interested in purchasing this or some of these wonderful postal mark tags, they're from all over California, Alabama, Colorado, Illinois, all kinds of different years. 74, 64. There's definitely some 50s, 40s, and 30s, and even teens in there. Take a look at my Etsy store, Wishes and Weeds, and see if there's anything that takes your fancy. Thanks so much for watching my flip through, and we will talk to you again soon.